What's up, everybody? Welcome to Made Her Watch. In this episode, we are about to watch
Rocky.
Afterwards, we'll come back in here to get her post-movie reaction, so
sit back and relax.
and we'll be right back. And we're back. We just watched Rocky.
The first one.
Okay. What's your review? Give us your thoughts.
I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm really not.
What?
But because I like these types of movies, I was very shocked to have not really enjoyed this
You
movie.
didn't enjoy this?
I thought it was okay.
Okay, what do you rate it?
Oh, really?
Out of
Right
10?
now?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. God, like a 6.7.
What? All right, explain. Like, give your official review of what do you how'd you feel about this?
Well, I've seen the fourth one many times, and I like that one way more than this one.
Okay, well, the fourth one is awesome, but it's just a montage. It's just a Rocky tribute where it's just a badass
Well, that's
movie.
what I was expecting this one to be like, because it was just, I felt like, I don't know, I felt like it just felt very out of place at so many moments. Like, I felt like whatever was trying to be conveyed came across, but it's just like I wouldn't have chose to do it in the ways that it was done.
For what?
My biggest one that stands out to me right now is whenever they get together or they go on their first date, and she's super uncomfortable. I'm not trying to be woke and a woke feminist and call him rapey or anything. I don't call just random things rapey, because I do get certain other factors. In this one, the time period, it was kind of different, but he says hey, I just gotta go to the bathroom, so come in my apartment. And she's already no, I don't want to go in your apartment.
Right, yeah.
And which is fine. I get it. He's hey, just come in and hang out. But the first thing he does is takes off all of his clothing except for a tank top.
Right.
And he's oh, it's hot in here. And that's to someone that doesn't even want to go into your apartment, that's the first thing you choose to do.
But you have to look at it in the light of what the time is. It's that kind of culture, and people recognizing that that's an uncomfortable place for a woman to be in is not what the time was back then. They didn't recognize that.
That's what I mean.
And you also got to give Rocky credit. He's dumb. Rocky's not a smart man. He's not a smart character.
And to him, he's
being sweet.
He's yeah, I'm really nice. Why else would she think this way? That's why it's I'm not straight out saying it like that.
I know.
I think
it was creepy though. With what we know today, it was creepy.
Well, and it just kept on everything. She was I think I should call my brother, and he's why would you have to call your brother? It was the beginning of he was about to kidnap her type of thing.
But when you know what?
Yeah. Okay.
I was trying to help you explain this.
Yeah.
But whenever even though it is rapey, you know that she is just very insecure, and Rocky's trying to bring that out of her.
Yeah. That's why I said I don't mean to be to be that much about it. It's just, I think all I'm coming from is I can see why she would be uncomfortable.
100%.
Because then he does this whole typical guy thing that's oh, come sit on the bed.
Yeah.
And then she's no, I don't want to sit on your bed. And he was well, why not? But like we said, Rocky's just he's a nice guy. He's outgoing. He doesn't think of it like that. But I feel from a women perspective, a woman's perspective, it would be
yes,
he's not helping his case by any means.
No, I get it.
He kept on being more and more sus about it.
Yeah, it got worse and worse as the movie went on, or as that scene went on. But again, the point of the scene, I think, is to show Adrian that Rocky's trying to break her out of her shell.
Yeah.
He knows that she likes him. He knows that she would like to be in the situation, but it's her insecurity that's causing her to shell up, which of course that's not the signs she was pointing
Yeah.
at all. And like, if you were to be in that situation in real life, you are raping. You're being very rapey.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it was just in that because obviously in the end she does like kiss him and then they end up together and we know that. But if you only cut out that one scene from when he says, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, and like gets her into the apartment, takes his shirt off immediately, oh, come sit on the bed. If you just took out that scene and showed it to someone that has never seen the movie before, that's probably what they're inferring. That's all I'm saying.
That's why you gave it a 6.8?
No, I gave it a 6.7.
Okay.
Don't add point ones. No, I just like, I don't know. It just felt very, I don't know. I just didn't really enjoy it that much.
That's such a whack opinion, bro. You got to be able to explain yourself if you're going to give it that low. This won the best picked movie of the year.
I know.
It won so many accolades.
I know.
And I thought it was great.
I'm always a sucker for these like classics, but you know what? I would put Rambo over that movie.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you would, but I would not. Well, like,
that's my opinion.
No, but it's so good. Like, you watching Rocky 4 first is probably not a good introduction to when you watch the first one.
Awesome.
The first
that
one
was
is
a great movie.
Yeah, because the fourth one is just a fan movie, essentially. That's all that movie is. It's not really like a great message. It's just like very much, if you're a Rocky fan, you throw that on to have a great time and watch Rocky kick some ass and watch some badass training montages, and get some redemption for Apollo Creed's death, which R.I.P. Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
He died this week. But this movie is setting up the character of Rocky and helping you understand him as a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He is a man that loves to fight so much that he nervous shadow boxes everywhere he goes. Any situation that he's in. He could be standing next to, like, the secretary was like, oh, let me just call into his office 6 feet away to see if you can walk into his office. And in that 0.2 second span that she made sure it was okay for him to walk into an office, he was shadow boxing.
But
which is like, I guess it does show. Yes.
And acting.
That's what I mean.
They're probably acting.
That's where, the creator of this character and this whole entire like movie franchise playing the main character is something very, pivotal to a movie that's centered around a character like this. Like Rocky is the entire movie. It's just one of those things like every
Thus
movie.
The title.
Every movie is centered around whether it's the plot or one character or a group of characters. There's always like some spotlight, and it's definitely him. So I feel like the person writing it being do you know what I mean?
I'm sure.
Like,
finish your thought. Yes, I'm listening to you.
He can, like, I don't know, just embody that character more.
Yeah. He wrote it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I know. And he wrote it in 3 days.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, the first draft was in 3 days. Obviously, that movie wasn't.
You can
a 3
tell the movie wasn't there. Dang it! Almost missed opportunity.
No.
Got there right at the end, though.
No. Okay. Well, I guess I'll give my rating. I would give it an 8 because I think it shows the perfect depiction of this dude that he's a good guy. He's always trying to do the right thing. He's always trying to help out his community. He's always helping the drunks. He's always there being nice and being he's just a good person in his community of like around these like just bums essentially. And he's sort of becoming a bum because he's just living in this shitty apartment that's gross and he's just making his money boxing. He's working for a guy as he's the guy that collects the money, beating up on people because he's a boxer, but he doesn't do anything bad.
I was about to say that, yeah. And also, his boss. That's
hold
like
on. Let me get my rating in. So, I would say that, and I think it shows a perfect depiction of somebody never giving up on his dream and getting just the shit kicked out of him by life all the time. The entire first half of the movie almost is just him losing, getting the worst luck possible, everybody hating on him, everybody crushing his dreams, and then he gets one lucky break and takes full advantage of it and succeeds. Where he beat Apollo, but boxing's a little corrupt, so Apollo had to win that one, but he won.
Yeah. I think what mostly this first one was about was like probably mostly his relationship with Adrian, because at the end we don't even hear, like, we hear that it was split decision, but they tell us like the judges score or what judges scored in favor of Apollo, but we never hear Rocky's like score card.
Mm-hmm.
It's because he's yelling for her.
Yeah.
And so that's like, I think if that's the last scene that they wrap it up with is like them saying, I love you, then that's probably what was supposed to be the main, not the main focus, but kind of what it's really all about.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I think obviously him and Adrian is a huge part of the movie, but the ending is them two coming together. When I watched it, it's them two coming together and seeing, he told Adrian before that, because whenever he gets first to the ring, when he, after he's trained and he's ready to fight Apollo, it's the night before, and he goes in the ring and he looks up and he sees himself on the poster and he doesn't have the right shorts on. Like, the shorts are painted incorrectly. He said, oh, that's backwards. I have white shorts with a red stripe. And they go, oh, well, it doesn't really matter, does it? So he's like, these people don't even believe in me. This is a pointless fight. I have nothing to lose. So he lays in bed with Adrian and he says, all I want to do, I can't beat Apollo. Apollo's a champion. I've never even fought in a legitimate good fight. I've never fought like real contenders. I've never even been a contender. I'm not going to beat Apollo. He says, all I want to do is last all 16 rounds or whatever it was. And he does. So he's like, Adrian, I did it. Like, we succeeded. Like, he's looking for her as the one person that's ever supported him. And
I know. So maybe it's both.
Yeah,
that's
I think it's
what
both
I'm
for
saying.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you didn't like it.
I don't know. Don't hate on me.
That's such a bummer. I thought you would have loved that movie.
Maybe I was tired. Maybe it was just it's like 10 o'clock right now. Maybe I just didn't pick up on everything. I think I did though, but.
Well, let's hear it.
Well, I don't know. I think a lot of the dialogue was really like cringy to me. Like, just the things he would say. Yeah. I mean, but also maybe that was like the point of it. Like, whenever he's trying to think of stuff to say to her in the pet shop, whenever it's cold out, and he said, it's good night to get pneumonia. I was like, right. What a line.
Yeah. But the dialogue is cringy, and it's kind of, Rocky just talks the talk, but that kind of mirrors him being so lonely. When you get to his apartment, he's obviously just a lonely dude. He's been lonely for a long time.
Yeah,
he has a thing. He's feeding his pets, talking to him, telling him about his day, talking to his pictures. His apartment's messy as fuck. He doesn't clean it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then his biggest like grievance is that there was more moss than worms in the turtle food for his turtles.
Yeah, he's just lonely. He has nothing to talk about, so he's just trying to figure out something. He has nothing really to show for himself. He's a struggling boxer who's 30 years old and his career's, slipping by. If you haven't really made it by 30, you're kind of screwed, because now you're just getting older and your body's starting to decline at this point. So now he's just becoming a loser. He's becoming a bum.
Yeah.
So he has nobody to really talk to, and he's really trying to talk to Adrian, because that's the only girl he likes and has interest in, and has a little bit of interest in him. He can see subtly. Yeah.
He must have been looking for it where the camera wasn't on, because I was like, even beforehand, it was like, I know we're supposed to believe it, and maybe it was just too believable that she was like not into him at all.
No, but yeah, she doesn't into him at all, but then you see the slightest glimmer, so you start to see what, like when she's like, bye Adrian, she goes, bye Rocky. She perks up and tells him bye.
Yeah.
So like you can see that there's a little bit of interest there. She kind of likes him. And then during the scene you talked about in the beginning, like the scene that was pretty rapey, then she ends up kissing him. And you're like, oh, okay, she was actually into it.
Yeah.
She was just insecure. But they definitely could have made that scene a little bit better where it wasn't as creepy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something. Oh, on their first date, and literally all he talks about is boxing.
Right.
Yeah. She is still like, and then they're like walking back, and he was like, oh, you don't have to be shy. And she's like, oh, I'm not shy. And he was like, oh, well, then maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But he did like talk the entire time they were ice skating.
Yeah, because he's a talker, she's shy. He's trying to fill the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely an awkward relationship. Because, I mean, but also you can, I just think that all the characters are very well written. Like, her character is very well written. She's been living with her brother who just doesn't respect her at all and treats her like shit, calls her a loser, degrades her, makes her do these things. When she cooks the turkey for Thanksgiving, he tosses it out and just takes a leg to eat for himself. And you can see why she's so shelled up. And she gets abused at work. Her coworker, probably her manager, makes her go clean the cat shit out of the litter boxes. So she's like a female version of a bum. She's like Rocky's equal. Like, she's getting treated like shit. The world's just pissing on her. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's why Rocky likes her, because he sees that too. And he sees a little glimmer of hope. Yeah. And he sees underneath her glasses and hat.
You know, whenever he takes her out on the date, he keeps on trying to get her to go first. He keeps on opening the door. And then you can imagine that anywhere she probably goes with Paulie, which he totally sucks, by the way. Also, best friend. Wasn't friendly to him in literally one scene at all.
He's a drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, he sucked. And then even at the end, he was like, oh, like, he wants to run marketing on me, and he had this like kind of badass like robe coming out, and then it had this ugly like meat market freaking sticker on the back.
Yeah, and he asked, what'd you get for it? He said, Paulie gets $3,000 and I get to keep the robe.
Yeah.
But again, Rocky doesn't care about the money. He just wants to fight.
Yeah, which is like him and Apollo Creed is a great parallel. Whereas like Apollo Creed had all this time to prepare for the fight, lots of money for resources. There was like one, you know, when you could tell that they put the sound in like after the movie in editing, and I heard his main trainer say like, oh, have my barber sent to Philly, or like flown into Philly. Like, they're getting their barbers flown in for this fight, and Rocky is punching meat in a meat locker and running across the city on public ground that doesn't cost him a cent. He's training himself. He doesn't even have a real manager. He's like, I don't need a manager, I already have the fight.
Yeah, right.
You know, so it's like this person that has all the bells and whistles. And I mean, from watching the fourth one, how he comes out to living in America, and then watching this first one, I'm like, oh, okay, I can see.
Yeah, he's America's boxer back then.
Yeah.
Biggest boxer. Yeah. He's a showman.
Yeah. Also, I was so confused when they said, oh, America's biggest birthday for this fight.
I still don't know what holiday it was, because it wasn't on Christmas either.
Yeah. Is it New Year's? Because it was like around Christmas time, and they had like 5 weeks. And so I was like, well, it's not 4th of July. And then you pointed out. He said
January 1st. Apollo did say January 1st whenever they had the first meeting. On January 1st, fighting on America's favorite birthday or something. Like, what holiday are you talking about?
Yeah. I guess New Year's. Because he said America's favorite birthday. I was like, but it is America's birthday. It's 4th of July.
Right.
Yeah. And even then, I think it was funny that he chose Rocky Balboa, thinking it was so patriotic because he's Italian, and it had these underlying, you know, I know that's like his character, but then Rocky like goes over and wants to take Adrian out on Thanksgiving. She's like, but it's Thanksgiving. He's like, yeah, but for me, it's Thursday. Yeah. Like, he's like, he says that he loves America, but he's kind of like, yeah.
Who you're saying, Rocky?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think, Rocky's he's a loner, doesn't celebrate, doesn't have family.
Yeah.
He's just fighting. True. He just has nothing going for him except for boxing. And when it's just such a cool story to me because he just wants to be the boxer so bad. That's all he has in his life. Like literally all he has. He can't do anything else but box. He's dumb, but he knows how to box. And he gets paid to box. Not very much. As you see in the beginning, they get screwed over a lot. Like the fight promoter, whoever put that fight on at the boxing ring makes all the money and then charges you for the locker and the towels and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, I just fucking fought. What do you mean? You're not going to give me the towels and the locker for free tonight for the hour that I put on the show for you?
Yeah.
So you see how they get screwed all the time. So he's not making much money, but he's trying and he's working hard and he's like, everybody's like, oh, hey, Rock, how's your fight going? He's like, oh, I did good. You should have saw me.
Mm-hmm.
You should have saw me.
Yeah.
Nobody's supporting him. It's only been him pushing.
Yeah.
That's why he's so pissed at Mickey whenever Mickey comes in wanting to help him. Finally, once he catches a break, he's like, oh, now that I'm successful, now you want to come help me?
Yeah.
Then he puts his ego aside. It's like, all right, yeah, I actually do need some help.
Yeah. No, and, because Mickey didn't even know that he was fighting that night. He was like, did you win?
Right.
Because, like, no one that he had talked to had seen the fight, had gone to the fight.
Because he's not fighting it. He's boxing, but he's not aspiring to anything. He's not actually fighting anybody worthwhile. He's not really pushing himself. I don't think. Mickey says, you have the potential to be a great boxer, but he said something. I forget his line.
I think he kept on saying that he was, like, not controlled. Like, he was all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, had a lot of power.
Yeah, he was sloppy.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I wonder if, because he mentioned that with Southpaw, he could never get his timing right. So I bet
other boxers couldn't, I think, is what he said.
He said he couldn't land on it because the timing was never right, like with other boxers. But I think that was alluding to him being successful with Apollo Creed, like the best, is because not that he couldn't fight them, they couldn't fight him.
Yeah, that's why he can't get. That's also why they said he said he couldn't get any fights because boxers don't want to fight a southpaw.
Yeah,
because it's bad for their boxer. Because boxers pick their fights, and in the later Rockies, in Rocky 3, Mr. T comes in as the main boxer that he's gonna fight at the end. And Mr. T's biggest thing is like, you're fighting bums, like you're not fighting anybody good. And Rocky comes to find out that Mickey's been giving him shitty fighters so that Rocky can keep his winning streak alive. So, boxers do that.
Alert.
So boxers do that.
Oh, yeah.
Where they'll just they'll be very careful with who they're picking for their fights because they don't want their boxer to lose. Because if their boxer loses, they can't get more fights. It's all about the record. But also matters who you're fighting too. So they just try to pick the best matchup that they think their boxer can win.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I just felt like it was good. I haven't seen it in a long time. This is probably my first time watching it all the way through in many years. But I loved it because I just felt like it was so true. It's like, Apollo's character, it's from his perspective, it's, don't fight somebody and celebrate and get cocky when this fighter has nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yeah.
And then Rocky believes I have nothing to lose, so I just want to last. Mm-hmm. And he also has everything to gain still, so he's just so, like, I guess motivated, but a better word, I don't know. He just wants it so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's cool seeing him triumph, and I just love, like, throughout it, you just see all these little details that make you want to root for him so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at the end, like, I'm smiling, like, halfway through, like, when he finally catches his break and he's starting to train, you're like, oh, hell yeah, Rocky, let's go. Like, you've been shit on all life. Like, let's go. Let's see what you got. And then he's fighting and he's winning. He knocks down Apollo Creed. You're like, oh, shit.
I just didn't feel that fire. I didn't feel that.
That's true. You got to watch it again then. We might need a second update because I feel like it was so good.
I don't know. I feel like I judge a lot of movies based off of, like, and how I feel, like how I feel during and afterwards, and if it was entertaining to me. And I just, like, wasn't feeling it on this one. It just wasn't it.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Well, I love Rocky, so maybe I was trying to get into it really good so I could, like, I'm trying to get in his mindset and seeing him through the grind. I can relate to just being in that grind, just, working your ass off, trying to get something accomplished. And so, being in his, kind of putting myself into his mindset made me relate a little bit to him.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely respect it. Basically, Sylvester Stallone starting this franchise all on his own is freaking nuts. And like thinking about, even though, I mean, just shooting on location, how many extras they had, like that's a lot to pull together for not, I know it wasn't just him, but to like have this idea and to write the script all on your own, and then you're also starring in it. Like definitely props, because it's iconic and totally a huge part of pop culture. I'm not, pulling that down at all. I'm just saying that the first one wasn't for me, but I like the fourth one, and that's okay. It's also very sentimental to me, that fourth one.
Them shooting fun fact, the fourth one was the first movie me and her ever watched together. First date. But them shooting that, it probably was a low budget. I don't know how much they made it for, but I'm sure it was a low budget. But a lot of the scenes that they shot where there were a lot of extras and background people, that could have been shot like guerrilla, which means like they just shoot it on the street. Because a lot of the scenes, like when Rocky's running down like the market and everybody's looking at him, if you did that just randomly, people are just gonna naturally look at you because they're like, what's that camera doing? What's that guy jogging? Yeah. So those all could have been civilians.
That was before legalities then.
And then I think you still can. You can film anybody in public. As long as if they're in the background, they're in public. Your rights, you're in public. Like you're letting, like, anybody can take a picture of you in public.
I wonder why Impractical Jokers has to blur some faces out sometimes.
They might, if they make money, that might be the issue there. So maybe so. I don't know. And then also whenever Rocky's walking out into the ring, they have that spotlight on him, so everything else is black, so you can't see the stands. Yeah. Because it's probably an empty stand.
Yeah. I guess that's true. I first thought of that basically in the first scene whenever he's fighting, and there's all those people like at that smaller fight, like around the ring. Also, I wanted to note that his boss was probably the nicest mafia boss I've ever seen ever in any movie ever. Right. Well, I mean mafia, right?
Whatever.
Criminal. Yeah, whatever. Organized crime boss in Philly, and he's just, hey, keep this $500. And then I thought the next scene we were going to see him like, sending someone to cut off his toe or something to get the money back. But he was like, oh, no, keep it. Well, it's his guy. He's like, oh, I'll be ringside. No, that's what I mean. It's like the nicest mafia boss I've ever seen in any movie ever.
But again, mafia bosses, they're all family. If you're Italian, well, Rocky's Italian.
Goodfellas freaking made me...
If you're family, none of them are family.
I guess that's true.
You don't get whacked if you're family. Yeah. That's when you get screwed.
And The Godfather made me believe in that, but then Goodfellas made me like, it's like I didn't trust the mafia connections anymore. Yeah. No one is safe.
The budget for the first one was less than $1 million. It's estimated to be like $960,000. Gross U.S. and Canada, $100 million.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it won, let's see, what were the awards? Let me see. It won a bunch of awards. I'm so disappointed you didn't like it.
What year?
1976, the year my mother was born.
That is fair that it was like that in 1976. I think for the time, yeah.
Don't
I'm just
say
saying,
that.
all I'm saying is that I just didn't feel a spark in my heart.
You don't want it.
Can you let me have that?
It won the Academy Award for Best Picture, Academy Award for Best Directing by John G. Avildsen, won the Golden Globe for Best Motion Picture of a Drama, won the Academy Award for Best Film Editing, won the Japan Academy Prize for Outstanding Foreign Language. What the fuck? What is this? Oh, that's funny. It won the Japan Academy Prize for Outstanding Foreign Language Film. You don't hear that over here. Japan's, that's a foreign film in Japan, obviously. You just never hear it. That's funny. That's funny. Yep, won a bunch of awards. It's highly regarded. A lot of people say this is the best Rocky movie. No. As a movie, for sure. As a movie and a story, for sure the best.
I
Rocky IV
love the fourth one.
but it's not a story really. It's just like
Except-
a redemption
yeah,
arc. It's
I
fun.
guess that's
I'm
true.
not discrediting
it's
it.
fun.
I love
It's
it.
a fun movie.
I watch it. I'd watch it any
But
other week.
I don't think that this, like, for me, just for me, in my opinion, I don't think that this movie had enough bones to be anything more than like a fun movie to me.
What do you mean by bones?
I guess, I don't know.
How does Rocky IV have more bones than this movie?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I like Rocky IV off of pure enjoyability for the same reasons that I love like Roadhouse.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't feel the same way about this one because I don't have that pure enjoyability. So if I don't have that, then I look to other aspects of the movie, like how it's composed, like all throughout, the acting, the dialogue, the storyline. I take all of that into account, and that's why it earned the 6.7 because it doesn't have the enjoyability factor.
But it has everything else.
Not to me. It might have it, but I didn't
Like I thought the writing was really
like
good.
a lot of the choices.
I thought the way the story was, there could be some flaws with like the dialogue, of course, and some of the acting was so decent. It wasn't anything bad. It's just cringy at times because of the dialogue.
Yeah.
But I think the writing, as in the plot and the storyline, is very compelling.
Yeah.
What do you think could have made it better?
I think if I read that, like, storyline wise, maybe just the visuals. Maybe that was my issue.
Were you just really disappointed because you were expecting it to be a Rocky IV? You thought it was going to be just badass?
Yeah, I guess so. I felt like I was a little bored at times, and I was a lot of, like, just, I don't know. I just didn't feel it.
I'm shocked. I thought you would have loved it. Like you saw the smile on my face after it ended. I was so excited for this. I was like, that's such a fucking good movie.
I told you, I was like, you're not gonna like what I have to say.
In a couple months, we should watch Rocky 2, and then in a couple months, or maybe next month, we watch Rocky 1 again. Now that you know what to expect, and you can then read into it and know what's coming, you may like it better.
Or I could just not like it just as much.
Maybe.
And then
it'll be valid.
There's some movies that I really like that I haven't gotten a chance to watch a second time at all. And you're going to make me rewatch this movie within
This is a classic. This is literally a classic.
Okay, but I haven't seen Barbie since it came out.
Oh my God.
I'm not watching it before
I watch
Barbie again.
You can watch it anytime.
And I can watch Rocky 1 again anytime.
Yeah, but you got to watch Rocky 1 again with me. You can watch Barbie on your own. I don't care about Barbie.
I feel like if we're gonna do that, you're just gonna keep on looking over at me, and you're gonna be like, "Huh?
Did you see that? Did you
see that? Did you catch that?" No.
Because like the character development was great with Adrian. You love the costumes. She got prettier, and her dress got better as the movie progressed, and has her confidence built.
Maybe her last outfit was way
not
better.
even. Whenever she was in the red one, when she saw Rocky and she bought him the dog.
Yeah.
She got him a dog after he's like finally getting success in life. And
yeah, I like that dog. It's a cute dog.
Because the first half, Rocky is just getting, life is kicking him down. Everybody's kicking him down. Nobody respects him. The last half, he's getting luck. It's hitting for him. Finally, life's hitting for him because he stayed true and positive. I just think the message is great. It's just a great theme.
I'm not taking that away from you. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that I didn't have that spark. And that's okay.
No, it's not.
Oh. Yeah, I knew you were going to be like, no, you don't.
Wrong.
No.
Wrong.
Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, you do.
You did.
Do I?
You love that movie.
Oh, now that you think about it, I did love that movie.
But Adrian's
9.7.
Adrian's costume gets better. She gets a little bit more vocal as an actress. She's very closed off.
Yeah, she starts smiling more.
Yep. This is not what I was talking about, but it's funny that Rocky and Rambo is fucking jacked.
Yeah, I guess
he's
thinking
not really
about
shirtless
that.
in this. He's a little bit shirtless in this first one.
Yeah, whenever he took off his freaking shirt, he's like, "Oh, it's hot in here."
So it's funny when I was growing up, my dad my dad didn't really like the first Rocky because obviously Rocky 4 is a lot more fun watch with your boys, right? It's
Your dad didn't like the first one?
he prefers he likes the action.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you, Scott.
No.
Oh my gosh.
No.
You know, that's
He
why
should,
me
he should
and your
rewatch
dad
it again.
well, maybe we'll watch it together and then we'll be like, Cade, no. This is why me and your dad get along.
But so what I was saying was he used to say that Sylvester Stallone was like more flabby, like he's not very ripped in this one. He's not ripped, but he still is pretty jacked.
I think he's jacked, but he's not cut.
Yeah, no, you see him in
he's
Rocky
more
3.
puffy.
You see Sylvester Stallone in Rocky 3.
Well, I thought in Rambo he looked really cut.
Yeah. Rocky 3 is absurd. That because he did Rocky 1 and 2 and then he did Rambo, I'm pretty sure, and then he did Rocky 3 was after Rambo. I mean,
yeah. Cuz I'm not denying that he was cuz that's what he looked like in Rambo.
yeah.
I think whenever you stand next to Mr. T, you're like, I got to put on a little bit more weight.
Yeah, definitely.
I got to get up there a little bit more.
Yeah, we should watch number 2 though cuz the story's not over.
Yeah, just give me like a week cleanse. Maybe I'll watch something a little bit more dignified.
John Wick.
Oh God, no.
That's right up your alley with what you said here. It's fun watch.
No, I don't throw blanket statements over things
Your
like
argument is not consistent.
What I consider fun, I take case by case basis. There's a lot of boxes that you need to check, and the biggest one just being like a vibe. This wasn't a vibe for me.
I'm so sad.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sad.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so what do you think would make it better? Like what was missing from it that you wish was in it? Like were you anything you were expecting to happen that was just like didn't get fulfilled?
No, I guess I was expecting more, but maybe more montages, more because in the fourth one, I guess because you already know that he's established, and there's, especially for the time and what was going on, the Russia being the not only just, you know, the opponent, but like the countries going up against each other. I guess it was like higher stakes because like here, like you said, even other than wanting the underdog to win, there were no like stakes involved really. It was kind of just everything for him to gain. So like you're following him, so you want him to do well, you know, but in the fourth one, it's okay, well then Apollo dies. So then you're like, okay, well now we have to kill this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And he's Russian and the Cold War was going on at the time.
But I'd argue that Rocky in this movie, he doesn't really have anything to lose. But what he does have to lose is his last chance to prove that he's not a bum. This is like his last chance. Like he's never if he loses this fight, he's never getting anything else. He's already tried to fight the champ and he lost and he's 30 and his career is crumbling. This is like his only shot at making something of himself and proving everybody that's talked shit about him wrong. And everybody that's kind of not respected him wrong.
I would have liked more Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
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 I felt like a lot of time was wasted in scenes with long shots. That kind of bothers the hell out of me too.
Like what?
When shots run like 5 seconds too long. Like one that I was thinking about was that I feel that, okay, so one of the shots, he takes the picture down, he looks at it, he looks at the mirror, he looks back at the picture, he looks at the mirror. I swear he looked back at the mirror probably 7 times before the shot changed. And I was like, that was 4 seconds too long. You know, I feel like it just eats away at time. And then this almost like an irritability in my head is like building up because I'm like, okay, well, there's nothing happening.
But you're supposed to be inside of his head. You're supposed to be thinking like, what is he thinking about?
Yeah.
His face is busted up. He's looking at this young kid who had so much potential.
Yeah.
And he's like, look at me. I'm in this fucking apartment.
Yeah, but I got that in the first 3 seconds of that shot. It didn't have to go on for... I think just things like that, whenever there's these scenes where a whole lot of nothing is happening, and I know that they're trying to be like, oh, you're supposed to see him like high-fiving all these people, and it's like, yeah, we saw him do that, and then you could have cut to the next scene, but instead you had him walking for like 10 seconds. You know, I guess just that. I would have liked more Apollo. I like his character a lot.
But again, you don't know Apollo yet.
No, I don't, because I'm just realizing right now that the 2 movies that I've seen him in, it's like where you barely meet him, and then right before he dies.
He's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apollo is not a character. Like, I mean, I guess he is, but he's not who you know Apollo to be.
I like Apollo, or I like Carl Weathers as Apollo, but I loved him in Happy Gilmore.
Dude, I failed miserably in not setting you up for this movie. I should have said, hey, this is not like Rocky 4. It's slower. This is more of a movie. You got to take it like it's his own. It's the first one.
More of a movie? What do you mean? Like a film? More of a
film? Like I like to say movie is like a fun, like just like Rocky 4. Film is like when they start to get deep and
yeah, that's what your dad says.
Yeah.
Your dad's like, that's a film.
Right. Rocky's definitely more of a film. But it's good. It's so good. If you just sit there and enjoy the grind, it's awesome. It's inspiring as shit.
Yeah.
Gets you fired up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's something cool. Here's something that fired me up, and maybe you'll get the spark in the second time you watching this. David Goggins, you know David Goggins.
Yeah, love David Goggins.
He has a thing where he talks about taking people's souls. So like you work so hard that you take their soul. You're like, how the fuck? Like they give up. Like how the fuck is he still going? And so he said when he was doing like a pull-up challenge, breaking the world record with pull-ups, like doing 4,000 plus in one day, something like that. He had that Rocky scene playing on repeat, because there's this moment in the fight when Mickey tells Rocky, stay down, because there's less than 10 seconds left in the fight. If you just stay down, you can relax and rest. Rocky says, no. Rocky gets up, turns to Apollo and gets up. He's like, let's go. Let's fight. And Apollo's soul gets taken right in that moment. And he goes, drops his head. And he's like, whew. Like that's when he lost the fight. Like he lost. He's like, okay, I give up now. This kid has so much heart. Like I can't, how am I going to compete with this guy? I keep beating his ass and he's standing up still. So even though he got knocked down, time's running out, he could just rest and still last the round. He stands up anyway. It's like, fuck you, let's go. Like I told you, I'm lasting. You ain't gonna keep me down. I'm standing up. He
stands up and then does not put his hands up. That's another thing with this.
He did this.
But the entire fight, he didn't have his hands up. Not even at the beginning.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Rocky movies. They're not in very great form.
It's right down here, which cinematically I get because then you can see his face.
Yeah.
If he's right here fighting realistically, you can't see his face the entire time.
Yeah.
That could be a choice. But I'm seeing a pattern that, I mean, it makes sense. This one came out way before. They're not landing these punches, but you hear the pew. And then the sound, I was very confused with the audio at the end because in the shot you would see them kind of going close and then the entire crowd would fade out and just they would talk. And I was like, oh, like it like scared me because I was so thrown off. It wasn't until like it had happened and then a couple of seconds passed and I was like, oh, were they talking to each other? Because sometimes it would like zoom in on someone's face and they would just grunt. I'm like, the fuck was that?
Yeah.
But 1976, I get it.
Yeah, give us some slack on the audio editing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I literally I don't even know how you edit audio back then. How the fuck?
Watch the movie and yell into a microphone.
Because back then they're literally cutting the film.
Yeah.
Like they're editing it by like putting it up to the light, snipping it, taping the film together.
So what I would assume is that they just go in and watch it and then literally like press record and then just overlap it.
Yeah.
because a lot of it,
Yeah, probably.
a lot of the stuff that you could tell that they filmed after or they, recorded after the fact didn't go with what they were saying during the shot.
Yeah.
But like I said, maybe I just shouldn't be that critical of it. But if I'm not being critical of it, then I have to go off of just fun times. And I did not have many fun times during this movie.
That just doesn't even seem objectively right. Like the montage wasn't fun to you?
There was only one.
Yeah.
And it didn't last as long.
Well, yeah, I mean, Rocky 4
There were so many in Rocky 4.
Yeah, but that's because
But if that's maybe it's bad that I went in with that one, because that's what I perceived from the Rocky movies. It was probably better to go in on the first one and
they build,
like watch it build, yeah, and then like 4 being this like climatic, experience.
So that's the exact issue that you're talking about now is the same thing with John Wick.
No,
the 4th one was the build up where you just want to see the fun.
I hated that movie.
Anyway, all right. You have any final thoughts on Rocky?
I'm sorry. Don't come for me in the
apologize
comments.
For your thoughts.
No, I mean, I'm sorry if it unsettled you enough that that it'll be a problem. But
no, don't apologize for your opinions.
I just I'm not trying to be woke for no reason. This is just
What do you mean woke? You weren't woke.
I feel like at the beginning maybe.
No, what?
I'm not saying that he was rapey. I'm just saying that maybe it was a little questionable.
It was.
That if I was a female sitting in there, I'd be like, oh my God, get me out of here. I'm going to die here.
What about final thoughts that you're not apologizing for? Because you don't have to. It's your opinion. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it. That's okay.
Yeah. Do I have to watch it in a couple of weeks?
Yep. No, I don't know. We should watch Rocky 4 next week.
Ooh, we should.
No, sorry, Rocky 2, not Rocky 4.
Dang it. Who's he fighting to? Apollo again?
Mm-hmm. It's a rematch. It starts off with them in the hospital.
I do like the Creed movies a lot. I think that story's interesting because I was really, really confused about... I think we had to pause it and I had to ask you about who Michael B. Jordan is. And then there was some clarification.
Yeah, you're all out of whack. You watched Creed, then you watched
I haven't
Rocky
even
4.
Seen this second
No, you've seen
one.
Rocky 4 first.
Yeah.
Rocky 4, then you saw Creed, then you saw Rocky 1. The best one of them all.
Wrong.
Best told story, I'd say. Rocky 4 is great because you just love Rocky and you want that redemption and he killed Apollo, so you want to see him just get that revenge. It's a revenge on your favorite character. Your favorite character is getting revenge on one of your most beloved characters. Because in Rocky 3, they become best friends. So
I gathered.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously. So Rocky 4 gives you that, but as a standalone movie, if that movie just came out without knowing who Rocky was, without knowing who Apollo was, without anything, that movie's not very good.
Yeah.
Because you don't know these characters. It's only good because you know the characters.
Well, I didn't know the characters, and I liked it.
I gave you the backstory. I filled you in.
I don't remember.
And it's also our first date, so you were like,
I know. That's why I said
that movie was so good.
No, that's why I said I don't remember you filling me in at all, because I think I was just really nervous.
I could have shown you the fucking shittiest movie ever, and you would have been like, that was so good.
I don't think I was worried about the movie.
Nah, you wouldn't do that. You're pretty opinionated back then. You would have been like, no, that movie sucked.
Back then? Oh my God, yeah. Yeah. I was not afraid to tell you how it is back then. Still not, but...
A little bit. You just apologized for saying this movie sucked.
I never said that. My apology was not about my opinions. It was just that I really wanted to like this one a lot because there's so many of these classics that I do love so much. And it's not that I don't love the entire franchise. I do. I love part of it. And the rest is yet to be seen.
Well,
maybe I'll like all of them, all the rest of them, and just didn't care for the first one. I will say, good job at finding a I thought Adrian was pretty. I thought she was a good match because I do not think Sylvester Stallone is attractive at all.
Really?
No.
He was before he got his nose broken.
Maybe like from the neck down, but I just like, I don't know.
Oh, I thought he's a good looking guy.
I don't find him attractive. I think I think when men are unique looking like that, like they don't look like regular guys, like he has distinct features. It's either like a love or a hate thing. Not that I hate him. I just like would
So what, I
not
look
touch
like a
him with a
square?
10-foot pole.
You like me 'cause I look like a square?
No. I like you because you look like a Prince Charming.
Okay.
Not like a Sylvester Stallone.
All right. Well, I loved it. I would highly recommend it. If you haven't seen Rocky, I would definitely watch it. I'm
Yeah,
deeply
I would
saddened that Mercedes didn't like Rocky. I thought this is like her type of movie, but
I know. I've loved all of them that we've watched so far.
Yep.
This
shocking
is my least...
that she liked Rambo over this.
Oh, I kind of loved Rambo though.
I should just I messed up. I should have just told you that this wasn't what Rocky 4 is. Nothing like this movie is nothing like Rocky 4.
Yeah.
But okay, well.
Sorry guys.
Thank y'all for watching, and we will see you next week. We're out.
Trying to buy my next meal. Seems all I do is drive. And when the boss man sends my next check in the mail, I'll have enough for closing time.